right, welcome everyone. We're right back here. We're at Wildcast. We're coming to you from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, the headquarters right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Glad you're with us. Hope we're telling your friends about us, because we got a lot to talk about. We got so much to talk about here. We have a whole great big building full of people that we need to talk to that will help you, we hope, out in the field, on the water. And then we have all these regions across the state with all these brilliant people at them. We're going to get them in here soon. So anyway, I'm Doug Markham, and I've worked at the agency for a couple decades or three. And over here is Jason Harmon.
How's it going, Doug?
Good morning, or hello, Jason.
It's almost noon, Doug. Come on.
It's me in my mornings. Long time of radio broadcasting. I'm just going to say morning for the rest of my life, I guess. Anyway,
right.
Jason hadn't been here as long. He's not as old as me, and he's still pretty smart. So anyway, Jason,
Thanks, Doug.
Good to have you in here. Jason helps all the time. He's producer of the show, and he's also quite the sportsman. Don King's right here. We're going to get to Don. You know you can join in.
Hey, Doug. Yeah.
Just doing a round table. We're going to talk to Don a lot today about some of the programs you can get your kids involved in, and some things you want to be involved in as a parent that you really enjoy. But before we get there, I want to talk about a couple of things right now that will help the sportsman. One is we have the the youth turkey season coming together.
Correct.
And it's coming up this weekend.
Yes, I pulled it up on the app here, our TWRA app on the go. Statewide youth season, March 26th, 27th, ages 6 to 16. 6
to 16. And how old does the mentor or adult have to be in order to take them?
21 years of age or older.
Okay, or older. And if I recall, that doesn't necessarily mean you've had to have the hunter education course, although we recommend it, because you're going to go out there and teach that youngster and take that shotgun and show them how to hunt properly.
Right.
So it's always better. The more you know, the better.
Be able to take control of that gun if need be.
Take control of it. 6 is pretty young to be shooting a shotgun, but that is the law, and you can take them out during this youth weekend. It's 2 days, and then a week from now, everybody gets to go, right?
That's right.
Everybody. It doesn't matter what your age is then. You get to go, but if you are a youngster, this one weekend allows 6 to 16 to go, and you have to have the hunter education course unless you're getting into some of the details of it. If you're under 10, you can still go on the youth hunt without hunter education. That's the exception, as long as you have a mentor. After that, when you're going with everybody else, you have to have had hunter education to go.
Right.
Or by an apprentice license, you can get one time.
Uh-huh.
So that's the rules, and that's the regs. And what can you shoot, Jason?
What do you mean?
Well, you're shooting a turkey, but what kind?
Oh, has to be a male turkey.
No, that's...
Well, a bearded turkey.
There you go. I said that, Jason, once. I think I wrote it in a press release about 25 years ago, and I got surrounded by wildlife officers, and I was in trouble.
Oops.
So bearded is always the word,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
there are a few females out there that occasionally have a beard. So
That's true.
that's what you can do. All right, are you going?
I'm going. I'm ready to go.
All right, I'm going fishing, but I hope you have a good time. How about you, Don? You gonna go fishing with me, or you gonna?
Well, maybe a little of both.
Yeah.
Maybe a little of both. Yeah. I sent a text recently to my mentor and longtime friend, songwriting friend, Dave Woodward, and said, "Hey, are we good to go this season?" And he said, "I think we can arrange something." So yeah,
Well,
we're good.
He's working his circuit because he wrote me the other day, and he's got a buddy coming in from some Connecticut or somewhere, and he wants me to take him crappie fishing.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess Dave's just going to spend the entire month of April doing something.
I know he goes up there and duck hunts with him, and they for years did muzzleloader opening day here in Tennessee. He would come down and hunt with Dave. And as a matter of fact, I think we did a wild side show on that weekend. So
Well, it's so much to do here in Tennessee. This is a great time of year. We're into the early parts of spring, getting there, and so March, April, May, everything bites. The hunting's great for the turkey hunters. It's just one of my favorite times of the year as a sportsman of Tennessee. In Tennessee, you got it made.
Oh man, you know what? And I was reminded, at a recent commission meeting, and I think maybe the director brought this up a few weeks ago, but it was amazing that some older gentlemen had attended one of our commission meetings, and they stood up. Anybody can come to any commission meeting, open to the public, and there's a public mic in the middle, and the commission encourages folks to, speak their mind and let them know and let us know as an agency what they're thinking. And one gentleman got up and and talked about these being the good old days. He said, I've been around for many years when it was you'd get a front page newspaper story if you saw a deer, somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just crazy, the deer and turkey and the fishing and it's just amazing.
Everything has gotten great. And of course, we always have to say thank you to the sportsman for helping us with that, because it's the sportsman that paid for us. Still do. A lot of folks still don't understand that in Tennessee unless you're a sportsman. And unless you're a sportsman who recently had to buy your license again. But you pay for everything we do, just about. Even, and I think Director Carter talked about it a few weeks ago, even the federal money comes down to us through sportsmen.
Right. So we wouldn't get any federal money if we weren't selling licenses, and it's all apportioned out based on the number that we sell. So so it's important that the sportsmen keep stepping up as they have, for the last few decades and really helping out.
Yeah, and go hunting. Look, the guide is out, of course. It's been out. It's the guide from last fall. It'll have the turkey season in it. If you're into computers, electronics, whatever, go online, look at that app that Jason's got. It will tell you the dates. I think it's 44-day season this year in sometime in May. It'll tell you the bag limits. All of it's out there for you. Tell you wildlife management areas where there might be an extra chance to get a bird, whatever. But it's all out there, and if you have any questions, you can call us or even send a message to us on our Facebook. We have Facebook. We get a lot of questions off of that. But the best way to do it is send a message and not put it out there somewhere in the middle of everything else. Just send us a message, and we can talk to you about it. Another thing we got going, Don, that we need to get into is this TWRA TV thing.
Yeah, TWRA.TV is it's a recent launch, and what it is, if folks listening and watching at home ever use Netflix. They stream movies or they access YouTube on the internet and, look at what everybody's posting and that kind of thing. It's sort of a cross between the two of those things with an outdoor mentality. It's all about our agency. I guess the kind of the bedrock is our television show, Tennessee Uncharted, and Tennessee's Wild Side. We're adding some episodes of that.
Some old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of you guys look younger in those things, too.
Yeah. I had a lot less gray back then. It looked like I'd been using just for men for a while.
I think we all did. But anyway.
But it's free access to access a lot of the programming on there right now. And the idea is that we want to attract subscribers. And if you're able to subscribe, and the great deal is we've got a thing going for license holders for the next month or so, that if you're a TWRA license holder, you can go online and subscribe for $20 for the whole year as opposed to the normal $50 rate. And that gets you the ability to upload some of your own content. So
that's what I think they'll like.
Yeah.
I just think they'll love it. I think sportsmen, I think you will really love it if you can go out there. And I know all of you take cameras in the woods just about.
Yeah.
Now. You got your trail cams. You got everything. This is, and it's not very expensive. And you can have your own show out there for a little bit of money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really neat concept. And
yeah.
So we're just trying to get the word out about it, and the more people that find out about it, word of mouth. And
yeah, and shout out to Scott Scripp and Tom Locke, because they're helping us out with it some. They've worked really hard on it, and
they really have.
I think Tom even has built a Facebook page that goes with TWRA TV. If you want to look up, and he's got a lot of folks following it now. Put some of the shows out there just to get you interested in what's going on TWRA.TV.
Right, and I've got a stack of old 16 millimeter films that I'm in the process of getting transferred that subscribers will be able to see some of our archives from like 60 years ago. And
I was going to say when you and I started.
Yeah.
It even predates us, doesn't it?
It does. It does by quite a ways.
Yeah, that's good to know. Anyway, that's great. I think it's a wonderful idea. The first time that I sat down and heard you and Scott and Tom talk about it, I thought this is terrific because it's participatory. It really lets the sportsmen come in and share their stuff. Yes, they can watch things, and I think that's cool, but they can come in and put their own stuff in there.
Exactly.
Within reason.
Yeah. And, beyond the television show part of it and the user uploads, we have a lot of content within the agency that gets put together for informational pieces, just really interesting stuff that Jason and Todd put together, and this is really a good stage and setting for airing those things
Yeah,
too.
we should mention Todd Mazors. He's sitting behind us today. He's running what you did last week, running the board for us. And Todd's a talented guy, does a lot of stuff for us. And Todd, we appreciate you back there.
Yeah,
helping us out today.
Sure do.
All right, so there you have that. It's easy to find out. The information's all out there for folks to learn once they go to it.
That's right. And one of the other real big advantages on the TWRA.TV is that, anybody who watches television, whether you have a dish, whether you have cable, whether you just access it off the antenna, out of the air for free, sometimes it's a little daunting to find programming out there. And we're on statewide public TV with Tennessee Uncharted. And it's on the Tennessee channel on the digital side. So that's, in this market in Nashville, it's 8.2. So in Knoxville and in Memphis, it's different numbers, but you have to check your local listings. But it's on Saturday evenings at 6 p.m. and Sunday afternoons at 3, and that's Central Time. In East Tennessee, it's on at 7 and 4. But on the main NPT channel, it will begin airing very, very soon on Sunday evenings at 10:30. So right after news time, right in Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
And in the other markets, you just have to kind of look it up. But anyway, it's different times on the main channels in the other markets.
Okay. All right.
And Doug, I want to add too, if you're not already watching, you can watch this Wildcast on TWRA.TV too.
Okay, we're going to have this thing everywhere, but that's one of the places we're going to have it. We're going to have the video version over there, and of course we got the audio version in several places too. Tell your friends about us, because we're going to be talking about the outdoors as it pertains to you for a long time to come. We bring folks in like Don, but we also bring in biologists, wildlife officers, people that are managing the fish and the wildlife across the state, and things you like to look at too, bald eagles, snakes and bats, and all that kind of fun stuff, salamanders, everything like that. All right, let's talk about something else. Don, we got a big event coming up right now almost for the kids. It's probably one of the fastest growing outreach programs that we've ever had at the TWRA, and it's called NASP. What does that mean? National
Archery in the Schools Program.
Okay.
It began in Kentucky about a decade ago or so now, and really took off.
Wow.
Once it got in the classroom, the typically PE teachers pick it up and use this as part of something that the kids can do during gym class. Mm-hmm. And it's great for the cold winter months when they can't get out and do things outdoors. It's very easy to set up, and so anyway, typically we're touching about 40,000 students in Tennessee every year with this program, and
and growing all the time.
Yeah, and growing, and what it ends up doing is creating a lot of after-school activities in the way of archery clubs and that sort of thing. Archery teams get formed. There's competitions that go on.
Well supervised with wildlife officers at this thing. And
very
others.
well supervised, yeah. And
this is the national event right here, right, or the state event.
Yeah, the state event at Miller Coliseum here in Middle Tennessee, part of MTSU's campus. They have about 1,800 students signed up. And when you talk about 1,800 students, you got mom and dad coming, you got brothers and sisters that come to this tournament, grandmothers and grandparents, and it's just a great thing.
It's grown a lot, and I guess the best way to find out about it, if it's not already in the school your son or daughter's going to, is talk to the principal or the PE teacher, as you said.
Yeah.
See if they might be interested in getting it in the program.
Yes, Don Crawford heads it up here on a statewide basis, and gets a lot of help from regional personnel as well with the program, but he's done a great job of going out, and if there's any interest at all, he'd be glad to come out and talk to the school board or the local principal or whoever he needs to speak with.
Don Crawford in the central office, Crawford, and you can find him online too. But Don, he's really helped make this thing grow. He's let folks know just how great it is for kids who may not necessarily play round ball sports,
right?
But they want to do something, and they find out what great hand-eye coordination they have with archery in their hands.
And it's amazing. There are several students that shoot from wheelchairs. That aren't able to get up and get around, but they've been able to develop their technique and be very competitive from a wheelchair. So it's something for everybody. Like you said, you don't have to be 6'4" and be toned up for the football team, or have that sort of body that allows you to compete.
Even if you are, your interest might be more in the outdoors. And here's your child. And I know grew up with a lot of folks, they were just more interested in the outdoors than they were in round ball sports, and that's a great thing. And there's something else called SCTP. What does that mean? The
Scholastic Clay Target Program has continued to just be very successful across Tennessee, and the students, and what that is a clay target program, shooting shotguns, target shooting, and
also have a state and national associated program with it. I mean, can you go to the state, go to the national?
Yes, you can do both of those, and Tennessee is top drawer. They are
really
top of the list consistently. When I go to meetings around the country, having to do with what you and I do, the Association of Conservation Information, or the Southeastern gathering of folks that do this kind of work, they always look to Tennessee as the number one state in the SCTP program. So
yeah, I know that's behind you, Governor Bredesen, who supports shooting, and former Governor Bredesen, and he supported shooting, always has, and he's with one of the teams. Earlier, I noticed Lacey Lane. Not everybody knows her, but she's a top-notch national champion.
Right.
Come up through here, just exactly what you're saying, top drawer.
Right, and she's done a great job and has continued to. She works for our foundation now, and has moved into a pistol target program similar to SCTP. But you'll be, oh man, she sure can.
She's a natural, yeah. So
you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. But the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, shoulders a big portion of the load to organize and keep that thing going. We, as an agency, believe in it enough that we fund the program with a large grant every year.
Okay, another program. I mean, that's another one you can find out through our agency or through through our agency. You can go to our website, tnwildlife.org, or you can go directly to the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. TWRF.net is theirs, and you can find out more. Look for, just go to TWRF.net, and they'll help you out there. Great program. And Don, also want to mention, I don't think we got any slides for it, but Toys is coming up. It's the Tennessee Outdoor Youth Summit.
Yes.
Held in Southside Tennessee, which is a few miles away from Clarksville. Great event. I call it a summer camp, but it's a week long for high school kids. 120 can participate, and there's information right now out on our website. It happens in June, but you got to get your application in ASAP.
Right. Getting down to the wire. But it is a great opportunity for any high schooler that's at all interested in outdoor stuff. They'll get all kinds of hands-on experience with learning about hunting, firearm safety. They'll get to do some shotgun target shooting, like we were talking about, rifles, handguns. And along with that, they get make little side trips with biologists. So if they're interested in fishing, they get to go out with biologists. They shock up fish and see how all that works, and work with the fisheries guys.
It's great.
It's a neat program.
All right, well, that's a lot, and we didn't cover it all. Don, I appreciate you as always.
Time flies.
When you're having some good time, thank you, Todd, back here, and Jason. I want to remind them of a couple of things. First of all, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's TN Wildlife, at TN Wildlife. Our director is TWRA at TWRA.director. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's easy. Just go to tnwildlife.org. We're throwing a lot of stuff at you, but scroll it down, and you can find all that stuff really easily. Just look under social media and look under featured links, and you can stay in touch with us all the time, and we can stay in touch with you. Jason, anything before we go?
Get out there and do some turkey hunting.
Are you going to?
I'm going to.
100%?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you for being here. We'll be here next week again with Wildcats. We're going to talk turkeys. A lot of turkeys next week. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Don.